What's the worst thing you found while investigating a bad smell? For 3 months, this nauseating smell from my kitchen was destroying my life piece by piece. 3 different plumbers charged me $200 each just to tell me nothing was wrong while breathing through their mouths the entire time. The smell was this thick sweetness, like rotting fruit mixed with something chemical that burned your throat. My girlfriend Kari tried making pasta one Friday night and ended up throwing up for 5 minutes straight before grabbing her overnight bag and leaving without saying goodbye. I got the breakup text 2 days later. That weekend, I realized the smell was always stronger near the wall behind the sink, especially after it rained. Not the sink itself, but specifically that wall. I spent 2 weeks trying everything, including those enzyme packets that supposedly eat through any organic matter, and even borrowed my neighbor's ozone machine that made my whole apartment smell like a swimming pool for 3 days. Nothing worked, and I was starting to think I was going insane because sometimes I'd smell it in my bedroom at night and wonder if it was following me. Then I read this article about a woman who found a dead raccoon in her walls using a moisture meter, so I ordered one with overnight shipping, figuring I had nothing left to lose. When I held it against the baseboard, the thing lit up like a Christmas tree, showing moisture levels that were apparently extremely concerning. I spent the next 3 days tearing my kitchen apart looking for the source, pulled out the dishwasher and checked behind it but found nothing, removed everything from under the sink and inspected every pipe joint with a flashlight. I even pried off a section of baseboard with a crowbar, which probably violated my lease, but I was beyond caring. That's when I saw it. The drywall had this soft, bulging spot about 6 inches from the floor that gave way when I touched it. My finger went straight through like it was wet cardboard, and the smell that came out made me stumble backward and dry heave into the sink. Using a utility knife, I cut a bigger hole in the wall while trying not to vomit from the stench. Behind the drywall was a space between the studs that someone had lined with plastic sheeting and turned into a hidden compartment. At the bottom was about 2 inches of brown water where a pipe joint had been slowly leaking for who knows how long. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight to see what was in there. Floating in the water were several broken glass jars and plastic containers that had cracked open. Dark liquid was seeping out and mixing with the leaked water. There were also sealed plastic bags with things inside I couldn't quite make out in the murky water. I figured the previous tenant must have stored old chemicals or medical supplies in there since my landlord mentioned he'd worked in medical equipment sales. I called my landlord immediately and told him I'd found the source of the smell and needed someone to clean out whatever supplies the previous tenant had hidden in the walls. Finally, this nightmare would be over and I could get my life back. Within an hour, he showed up with a contractor who took one look inside the hole and backed away fast. That's not my job, man, and you need to call the cops right now because those are human teeth floating in that water. I thought he was joking until I looked closer and saw what he meant. Small white objects that definitely weren't supposed to be stored in someone's wall. The contractor left without another word, and I stood there staring at the hole while my brain tried to process what I was seeing. The police arrived within 20 minutes and immediately cleared me out of the apartment while they called in a forensics team. For the next 8 hours, I sat in the building lobby watching people in hazmat suits carry evidence bags out of my home. The detective in charge finally came down to explain what they'd found. The hidden compartment contained preserved biological materials from at least 7 different people, along with their personal belongings. Driver's licenses showed women who'd gone missing between 1996 and 2004. The previous tenant had been a medical equipment salesman who died last year at age 72. He'd used formaldehyde and other chemicals from his job to preserve his trophies, which explained the specific smell when water hit them. Not 6 families got answers about their missing daughters and sisters through DNA testing over the following weeks.